those of you that don't know Jared out there, Jared is, how would you describe the company? I've always called you the meme master. I've had to say it clearly there, meme master.
Okay, yeah.
Jared does an exceptional job every week of putting together a couple of different memes that are industry related, definitely industry related, and they literally take the piss out of what we do, and they bring like a bit of perspective to it. I feel, because there's a tendency to get bogged down and take everything seriously in this role. And Friday 3 o'clock rolls around, and Jared sends through the memes. Yeah, they've been going for like a year.
Yeah, we are about a year and a month now. We started in February, and I remember when of course I was trained up by what's the saying? I know God bless his soul is sort of, what's if somebody has left the profession, he's left the company and everything, right. But thank you very much, Jake, for all
Reed.
you did.
Shout out Jake Reed.
Yeah, shout outs to Jake Reed. Hope he's enjoying his new career in horticulture.
Yeah, horticulture.
Yeah, right. He loved his plants, yeah. But yes, I remember, so I first got the idea in about sort of February of 2021, so I'd been here for 3 months, and I made sure I ran them past you first, so I didn't get in any trouble.
Yeah.
But should have run them past the HR department. But the
then
thing
you would have
is,
got in trouble, I think. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that I, like a lot of people, and I actually I lost my old Facebook account, and I've only made a new one so I can use Messenger, but I'm glad it happened, even though I'd had it for 10 years and I lost a lot of material when I was deactivated. I'm glad it happened because, like a lot of other people, I was addicted to social media. And and this is very common among adults and everything now. I mean, the compulsion that people have to take out their phone and check the news feed. I was just as guilty of that as anybody else, but at the same time, being focusing on all that internet culture, you see a lot of memes, you see a lot of jokes, especially in all the weird pages that I would like that were full of memes. And when I started this job, there were just so many things that happened.
So much material, you think,
exactly.
It's a gold mine. Yeah.
I remember saying to Jake, I might make some memes, and
some memes.
Yeah, and well, nobody tried to stop me. That was the main thing. It's I still managed to think up things about new situations.
It was funny when they first started coming out. You'd read them, and I was like, "This is outrageous!" And the humor, it was bloody funny, and they still are. Your humor is so sharp and clever, and sometimes subtle, sometimes very obvious. And I think it's quite a wide range amongst our team. And you see people reading them, and they're like, "Oh, I don't get that one." And you go, "Well, it's this, and this," and you're like, "Oh, now I get it." But some of them are really obvious. But I think when we first started seeing them, I know Kylie was a bit like, he can't show those to this. And I was like, it's cool, it's fine, it's a work thing. But what if other people see them? It's like it's a joke. They're jokes. They're not like, we're not going out there with pitchforks and poking people's eyes out and things. It's meant to be humorous, and it's taking the mickey literally out of what we do, what some of the things in the industry are, because I think there is a tendency out there to be a bit stuffy. The body corporate industry is not well known. Like it's one of those real below the radar, behind the scenes type industries. And I think, doing this sort of thing, combine that with the memes and a bit of social media, there's potential there to create a little bit of a niche of, black humor essentially, and take the piss out of it. So where do you find, what do you find makes a really good meme from your point of view?
It's just the sort of if you know kind of factor. Things that are about that are well known to people within the industry, and perhaps a sort of casual observer might not understand them, but just things that the day-to-day sort of tasks we do. I did one recently. I had all of the one of my buildings was built in 1989, had its original sort of light fittings. We changed them all over to LED, and I thought, I'm looking at all these LED lights and I'm thinking, oh, thank God I'll never have to change one of those again. And so I thought, I could make a meme about that, couldn't I?
Yeah, for sure.
So the meme had a photo of a whole lot of those LED lights, and what different sort of people would say about them. An engineer would say, well, these lights suit the modern interior decor in any colour it comes in. An engineer would say LED lights are far more efficient and cheaper to operate than traditional bulbs. An environmentalist would say something like, they will reduce my carbon footprint and please Greta Thunberg. And a building manager would say, oh, thank God I'll never have to change one of those bloody things again.
Yeah, that's right. It's clever, and I admire, I read the memes on a Friday at 3 o'clock, and I just think, man, how the hell did he come up with that, or how did he think of that? And you've obviously got a very sharp and deep sense of humour, and it's greatly appreciated amongst the team, but just to find find the memes and then put the words to them that relate back to us is it's a hell of a skill. Like a couple of the guys have tried, but then they don't come back. And you're like regularly, 3 o'clock on a Friday. There's always a handful of memes, and some guys will say, "Oh, I'm going to give it a crack next week," and they don't come back the week after because there's a lot of thought that goes into it. I'd imagine. There's a lot of there's more to it than what you think to create something like that.
Yeah, and of course, I guess I just I still look at a lot of them, mostly political sort of ones, and you can easily they give the perfect templates, and you can just you can choose appropriate sort of themes to go with them. But I'm really glad everybody appreciates that. I know not everybody appreciates my sense of humour in general. It certainly got me in trouble on Facebook and everything. But
yeah. Oh, look, man, I think, and that's going back to what I said before about having a group of the team that's fairly like-minded. It's like we have a laugh. It's water off a duck's back, and like I said before, it does bring a bit of perspective as well. You go, oh yeah, that is kind of funny, rather than just thinking that everything's like the weight on your shoulders and that sort of thing. I think what we're going to have to do at some stage is have a look at doing a greatest hits thing, greatest hits with the memes, and potentially doing we might have to do another podcast with the memes, and somehow we'll carefully curate the memes, of course, and it might be a censored version. But we can have them up on a screen, and we can go through them and talk about them. I think it'd be quite a good episode.
Maybe a poll of everybody's favourite one or something like that. But yeah.
I'd like to actually get them on display a bit more around the office, and just make sure that like I said, it brings a bit of lightness, and when things get a bit serious, you can always walk past the wall of memes created by the meme master Jared, and just sort of go, oh, well, it's not that bad after all.
I think that's really. I didn't think of it at first. I just wanted to be funny, I just thought it was funny and thought other people would as well. But as a few building managers said over lockdown, when we went back into level 4, and of course the memes are about COVID related stuff and taking the mickey out of that. And quite a few people said, this is a really stressful time for us. Of course, we're worried about getting this virus. We have to wipe everything down, and we don't want to go near other people, and they reckon it really helped them because, in a stressful time, and that's the beauty of comedy and humour in general. It's and to lighten the mood, and even in the most, of course, not everything's going to. It's a bit like Prince Philip. He would make some really good jokes about sort of stuff. Fantastic, but of course not everything you say is going to go down well. You are going to step out of line sometimes, but at the end of the day, especially in a stressful situation, feeling really tense, sometimes humour is the most appropriate thing to just lighten the mood and take the weight off someone's shoulders.
You feel you have a good laugh about something, and you feel your body just sort of loosens up, and you go, the endorphins start to kick in again. You go, all right, get back to normal. It's a really great way to describe it, actually. And so, do you see any sort of have you got a particular avenue that you think the memes will go down? Is there any sort of particular subject that you enjoy a bit more than others with the building management memes, like for content wise?
Oh, I haven't really thought about it. It's really just what's in the moment.
What's happened in the week or something like that.
Yeah, sort of just. Well, as varied as the job is, so are the inspirations for the memes and the jokes. It's just you'll come across a new situation that you haven't been there before, and I am learning to push the boundaries a little bit though. I mean, I always like to do that, and as long as I don't get in too much trouble for it.
That's what I was actually going to say before around pushing the boundaries, because there is an element of, sometimes we've got to be careful, and in some ways like Kylie and I were talking about it last night around, she goes, it felt a little bit, the podcast that we did last night, she said it felt a little bit rigid, and I said, it kind of has to be, because we're using it to promote the company. It's not like Joe Rogan where he can just say whatever he wants and create outrage or create 11 million subscribers. There is an aspect to it where we've got to keep it pretty professional and like not rigid, I don't think, but we've got to keep we can't just start talking about ridiculous things or illegal things or anything like that. But the humor from the meme fits like right into it, I think, and it'll be interesting to see how if we end up sort of pushing the boundaries with what we're doing here. I think you've kind of got to push the boundaries in some way. Like we're quite careful not to talk about either certain individuals or certain buildings. Quite keen not to identify things, but just use the examples or the stories that come out of those things as as the content, and that it's walking a fine line at times.